Hey y'all, it's Jess at Roots and Refuge Farm. I was tagged in a video this morning that just made my whole morning, and I want to participate in this challenge to share why I garden. Thank you, Gramma Rose Homestead, for the tag. I just loved watching your video and hearing about your first flower bed that your dad made you when you were a little girl. I completely relate to that. When I was a little girl, my mom was a big gardener, and we had this little courtyard flower garden right outside my bedroom window, and my mom planted purple roses right outside the window because purple was my favorite color, and so she planted those for me. So my roots as a gardener go deep too. So let's head into the garden now and I'll tell you why I garden. You coming, little boy?
I want to check my beauty watermelon.
All right, go check.
Some basil.
Okay, hold on, go eat some basil. Wow, they're looking good. Do you think they're gonna be ready for the reunion? Yeah, I hope so.
Mommy, I found a cute watermelon.
You found a cute watermelon?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Whoa.
Golly, that is cute. What do you see?
Squashes.
Squashes? Well, yeah, they're ready. Go get them.
Okay.
The first question of the challenge was, why do I garden? And that's why. One of my biggest motivators in growing a garden is raising my children around food. Being able to feed my family real nutritious food that I quite literally know the roots of, and also raising my kids with an appreciation for food and with concern about how it's sourced and how it's grown. A yellow butterfly, cool, let's go see it. Wow, that's a beautiful butterfly. Come on. I also just love the process of growing things.
Whoa.
What is that? Do you remember what that is?
Yeah.
What?
Kajari melon.
Pick it up. Let's show our friends.
Yeah.
Kajari melon, that's right. That fell pretty far. I didn't have it supported on this trellis. It fell about 3 feet, but thankfully it hit the soft soil.
Inside.
All right, go take it in the house. You found some squash?
It looks like one. Watermelon?
No, a Kajari melon.
Kajari melon.
Nice squash. Do you remember what those are called?
Yeah.
What are they called?
Squash.
Patty pans?
Patty pans. Can I make a stash of them?
Can you make a stash of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to make a squash stash, you can. I love the opportunity to just slow down. And, you know, we get so immersed in the made world that I think sometimes it's easy to feel really far away from God, but it's really hard for me to feel far away from God in a garden. And so this is my sanctuary of sorts. I feel like it helps keep me grounded. I sincerely believe that a garden is just really good for the soul. The next question is, how long have you been gardening? I started to have an interest in growing things probably around 15 years ago or so. I mean, I was always around gardening. My mother was a gardener, and so I grew up helping in flower beds. She used to earn extra money by helping other people put in their flower beds. She was a stay-at-home mom, and so my brother and sister and I would go with her. And so I've been around it, but I was pretty much a self-proclaimed brown thumb until about 10 years ago. I started really trying to grow things, and I killed a lot of plants, but in the process I learned a lot. I did attempt to do a few gardens whenever we lived in town, and got better at growing things in pots. Whenever we moved out to our home in the country, I did a few raised garden beds with great success, and then we started to build our really large garden 2 years ago. You got your squash stash with you? Come on. The next question is, what do you grow? Whatever I can get my hands on to grow. I love to grow rare varieties. I love to grow heirlooms. I love to grow people's experiments, so modern open pollinated hybrids where small farmers have taken heirlooms and bred new varieties. And I love to grow food that I might not otherwise get the opportunity to ever see or eat. I like to find that happy medium between good production and interesting heirlooms. I live in central Arkansas, and so we have a 210-day frost-free growing season, which is a really long time to be able to grow food. So we're able to get in a lot of things. So I grow just about everything that will grow in my region that is edible. I have gotten a lot more into herbs and flowers this year, and I'm planning on expanding that greatly in the next couple of years. I have been dabbling a little bit into herbology and using herbs for medicinal purposes, so growing more of those, not just culinary herbs, but growing more medicinal herbs, and also flowers just for the sake of beauty. I really have been doing a lot of studying about potager gardening, which incorporates a lot of ornamentals just for the sake of making a beautiful yet functional growing space. The next question is, what is your favorite thing to grow? These are my precious rows of tomatoes. I love growing tomatoes. It's actually hard for me to declare them as my favorite because I do love so much of the garden. However, I have a special affinity for growing tomatoes. I grow 62 varieties this year, and I've got seeds for a lot more that I want to try next year. So if I had to pick one thing to say is my absolutely favorite, tomatoes take the prize. The last question of the challenge, and I am so glad you asked it, is why do you YouTube? Now, I am a researcher. I love to learn and I love community. So I have pulled so much from YouTube in the past. I would say so much of my success in homesteading and gardening is attributed to this very community. So it is an incredible joy and honor for me to get to pour back into it. Being able to add to this community of beautiful people with my own experiences, to be able to encourage people and to teach people, these are passions in my life. I love to be an encourager and to be a teacher. So I am so thankful for the opportunity to get to do that. What'd you get?
Basil, because I'll make it bees like basil.
You want to give some basil to the bees?
Yeah, they like it.
They like it when it gets flowers on it. You like it when it has leaves. You gonna eat that?
Honey basil.
You like honey basil?
Yeah, I want honey on it. Mama.
You know what sounds really good? Some honey basil lemonade.
Mom, can me and a frog go swimming today?
You and a frog?
Yeah, to go swimming today.
I don't think you need to put your frogs in the swimming pool.
No, I'm gonna put I'm gonna get a leaf to so the frog can fly on the.
You're gonna put a leaf in the pool for the frog to lay on?
Yeah.
I love you, Benjamin.
So
last step of this challenge is for me to tag 3 more YouTubers to take part in it. So first, I'm going to tag Jason at Cog Hill Farm. Jason has a beautiful garden, and I'd love to hear his story of how he got into gardening and where his heart lies in that garden as far as his favorite things to grow. The next person I am tagging is Amy over at the Fuel Homestead. Amy is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to using herbs, and I love what they're doing, having a smaller space. I think she is a wealth of knowledge, especially for those of you who are looking to get started but you don't have a huge piece of land. Amy is doing so much on less than an acre. I'd really love to hear about her heart on gardening and have her share her garden story. And my last tag is Art and Bri. I love their channel. I love their garden. It's absolutely beautiful, and I have learned a lot from them. So I'm gonna go ahead and tag them to share and answer these 5 questions. Why do you garden? How long have you been gardening? What do you grow? What is your favorite thing to grow? And why do you YouTube about it? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I just want to encourage you, even if you didn't get called out specifically to answer these questions, post a video. Let me know in the comments if you do, because I would love to watch it. I bless you all. Until next time.